Hey, thanks for tuning in to. I guess this should be Shoptalk Sunday, but it's Wednesday. Um, yeah, so I just want to kind of recap on something really cool that I'm really grateful to have done over this past weekend. Um, so yeah, I have a buddy from boarding school that I've been in semi-consistent contact with. Every couple of months we call each other for an hour or so, and um, we text each other intermittently, but haven't seen him for 6 years. And heard earlier that he was going to be in town because he had some trip and he was going to be in town and he had time on the weekend. And I'm so glad that he reached out because I really missed him. And so we, I went down to meet him. Um, and it was just like a blast from the past. Like all the good memories, all the positive emotions that I had from that time just surfaced. Um, and there was a little bit of apprehension at first, right? Because having not seen somebody for 5 plus years, 6 years, basically, um, more than that actually. What? It was It's got to be like 7 or 8 years. Yeah, no, it's a long time. Um, but yeah, having not seen him, didn't know people change over time, right? And I didn't know if the essence of him had really changed. And people grow, people develop. There's nothing bad about it, but was just kind of apprehensive going into it. But was super glad that I came down and saw him and chatted, and we spent all of Friday and slept in Saturday, but all of Friday, walking around, talking, reminiscing, um, just catching up, talking about what's going on in the world and what our plans are and where we envision ourselves to be, um, 5, 10, 15 years down the line. And it was just really cathartic. Like it felt like I had kind of, like, I'm not religious, and I don't mean like cleansed my soul, but I just felt um, like spiritually empowered. Like I just don't know how to describe it, but that's like the closest thing that comes to it. Is that I just felt like being with somebody that's like minded but different, but shares values with you. Um, that I had such a strong connection with and had been trying to maintain the connection. And it just felt like a hole that I didn't know that I had been filled. And so that brings me to the importance of building your circle, right? Something that my dad always tells me since I was, a little kid, other than, character is the most important thing, right? You can't buy character, you can't, character and your reputation are the most important things, and I ignored him, and I was a troublemaker. But it stuck with me because I remember it now. Other than those two, kernels of wisdom, he said that you are the average of the five people that you hang out the most with, right? And I think that speaks to the greater idea that, or it not even speaks to it, it says it directly, right? You emulate and take on the aspects and the qualities of your tribe, right? So you want to be intentional with who you surround yourself with, who you interact with, because even if it's not conscious, it rubs off. And on the one hand, right, like if you hang out and are spending time with somebody that's a net negative in your life, even if they're successful and doing great for themselves, but every time you hang out with them, you feel like dog shit, and just it's not fulfilling, it's not enriching, it's not something that builds you up, get rid of them. Kick them to the curb. Be polite, be tactful, but you need to surround yourself with people that are going to build you up. And conversely, you need to build the people in your circle up. You need to become invested in their lives and think of ways that you can make life easier for them, or think of things that maybe they have natural affinities towards and may not be turned on to, and put them onto something that they may like. You need to figure out how you can be an asset to your friend group, and how and also evaluate if elements of your friend group are assets to your life. And that's something, going up through schooling, the philosophy has always been, your friends kind of just are the people that are closest to you and you spend the most time with. And yes, you have some agency. Like, you can decide who you sit with at lunch. You can decide what sport you're going to play. But ultimately, you don't really decide who the people in your classroom are, who the people on your team are, who the people in your clubs are. So you kind of go through life. You go through if you're, going traditional, you go through your 18 years of life, building the, ideas in your head about how you make friends. Then maybe you go off to college, maybe you go to work, maybe you, I don't know, go abroad and do something. And but there's kind of like a shift, right? Like, you kind of take agency and it happens all at once, and it's not like this kind of smooth transition. It just kind of hits you. And a lot of people are stuck thinking, like, how do I make friends? Like, how do I stay social with people? I'm moving to a completely new space, new area. Maybe it's a big city, maybe it's a rural town. How do I stay connected? How do I stay plugged in? How do I build that social circle? And so a lot of people hit that juncture, and they're just thinking, kind of working through that process on their own. And I think my answer to that is follow the law of entropy, right? Embrace chaos. If you see somebody interesting in your day to day, go say hi to them. Go talk to them. Ask them, what's up. You don't have to do everything at once. You don't have to find their life story the first time you see them. But if you're at the grocery store and you see somebody interesting, say what's up. Start a conversation. Develop those interpersonal skills. I think that's something that has been kind of lost. And, definitely my interpersonal skills atrophied over COVID and before COVID. I was far from, some kind of suave, debonair type, guy that can just kind of mingle and hang out with everyone. I think I generally was pretty liked, but I definitely had like an introverted side. And yeah, I think like entropy, meeting more people, gives you the best chance of finding those people that really resonate with you. Because I imagine some people go through their entire lives and they don't find one person that resonates with them. And maybe it's a byproduct of extenuating circumstances, but also it could be a byproduct of not enough random collisions, not enough interactions with people on the day to day. I think the common treatment of, at least in the U.S., people kind of treat each other as NPCs. Like, if you ever played a video game, you have playable characters and you have non-playable characters, and like, we kind of treat the people that we don't know as non-playable characters. We don't say hi. We're walking down the path, we're passing somebody, we don't know them, but we're walking, we're getting closer. You make eye contact. You make eye contact because you see them make eye contact with you, but you don't say anything. and then you feel kind of shitty. Am I a bad person because I didn't say hi? Well, maybe you don't kick yourself about it, but I kick myself about it. Um, and like all those kinds of instances, when you see people or you purposefully ignore people, I think that's destructive to, you know, social welfare and social well-being. And humans are social creatures. Um, as much as we try to say, or as much as it's important to do things on your own and to take agency and realize that, you know, you are, you come first, your goals, your development, blah, 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 all that stuff comes first. As much as that is true, I don't think it's necessarily black and white. I think there is a social component to that as well, because you can't do everything on your own. If you have, grand ideas and grand machinations, like let's say you want to change the world, you're not going to be able to do that on your own. You need a network, you need a group of people you need a tribe, right? It's like going back to this primitive thing where it's like you need a tribe that's going to ride or die with you, sink or swim, that would take a bullet for you and you would take a bullet for them. And a lot of that doesn't necessarily, like, you don't have to like everything about a person for them to be worthy of being in your tribe, and vice versa. I think if you have mutual respect, if you respect them, they have qualities about themselves that you don't have, that you want to develop, then that's almost the greenest flag that you can get, to tell you, hey, I need to hang out with this person. I need to figure out how he's doing what he's doing to be this good at XYZ, or to, show competency in these dimensions, or have this character trait. Like, we need to be inquisitive. We need to interact with people. We need to realize that, Google is great. It's cool to Google, or ask ChatGPT. But social interaction is powerful and is important. And this weekend was kind of crystallized that for me. So to my buddy, you know who you are. Thank you. I had a great time. Gotta reconnect soon, or whenever we can. But I had a really good time, and I hope you did as well. Yeah, you're ride or die. You're one of my tribe. I would take a bullet for you, and yeah, I think a lot of people need to think about surrounding themselves with people that they would feel okay taking a bullet for. So yeah, I don't know. Let me know in the comments if you guys agree, disagree. What are your thoughts? How much do you think social circles, social interactions play a role in achieving your goals or having a fulfilling life? I don't know. Let me know. I'd love to. If I don't have the answers. I don't have everything worked out. I'm just kind of saying what my thoughts are at this point in time. But yeah, let me know. Alrighty, guys. Thanks for tuning in to. I guess this is kind of Shop Talk Sunday, Shop Talk Wednesday. Stay tuned. I should be all caught up. Yeah, I should be all caught up. So tomorrow I gotta rig my my game model, so I'm gonna be putting in some sweat equity there. So I'll have a video to show you guys. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay juicy.